The year was 2175. Humans had moved beyond Earth and built homes on other planets. They had ships that could travel to stars that once seemed too far away. Commander Alex Morgan stood on the bridge of the U.S. horizon. The ship moved smoothly through space, heading to a star system no human had visited before. Alex was tall, with short brown hair and eyes that had seen both wonder and danger in space. "We're approaching the fourth planet, Commander," said Lieutenant Kevin Russell from his station. His fingers moved across the glowing screen. "Scans show it's full of life." Alex nodded. "Put it on the main screen." The view changed to show a beautiful world with blue oceans and green land. White clouds swirled in its sky. Dr. Samantha Wright stepped forward, her eyes wide with excitement. "The air has oxygen. The temperature is perfect for life. This planet could be home to something amazing." "I'm picking up signs of buildings," Kevin said. "They're spread out, mostly in the fertile valleys. Nothing too advanced, but definitely made by intelligent beings." Alex took a deep breath. This was why they had joined the space program, to find new life among the stars. "Prepare the landing team," Alex ordered. "We'll take the small shuttle. Dr. Wright, you'll lead the science team. Lisa, I'll need you for communications." Lisa Peterson looked up from her station and smiled. "I've been working on the Universal Translator. It should help us talk to whoever lives down there." 6 hours later, the shuttle landed in a wide field. The team stepped out onto the soft purple grass. The air smelled sweet, like flowers after rain. "Stay alert," Alex told the team. "Remember first contact rules. We're guests here." They didn't have to wait long. From the nearby forest, tall beings approached. They walked on 2 legs but had 4 arms. Their skin was pale blue, and they had large, kind eyes. Dr. Wright stepped forward and held up her hands to show she carried no weapons. Lisa stood beside her, the translator device ready. One of the aliens spoke. The sound was musical, with clicks and whistles mixed in. The translator hummed, then produced words. "Welcome to Elysia. We are the Elysians. We have watched your ship in our skies." Alex moved forward. "We come in peace from planet Earth. We wish to learn about you and share knowledge." The next few days were busy. The Elysians welcomed the humans to their villages. They lived simple lives, growing food and making beautiful art. They had no space travel and seemed happy on their world. Dr. Wright spent hours learning about Elysian plants and animals. "Their farming methods are amazing," she told Alex one evening. "They could teach us a lot." Lisa worked with Elysian scholars, improving the translator and learning their language. The Elysians were eager to hear stories of Earth and other worlds humans have visited. After 3 weeks, the horizon orbited peacefully above Elysia. The crew had set up a small base on the surface. Both humans and Elysians seemed happy with their new friendship. One night, as Alex was reviewing reports in his quarters, Kevin's voice came through the ship's system. "Commander, you need to see this right away." Alex hurried to the bridge. Kevin pointed to his screen. "I picked up energy readings from the next star system," Kevin said. His face was tight with worry. "Something big is moving this way." "How big?" Alex asked. "A fleet, sir. At least 20 ships, all larger than the horizon. They're not Earth ships." Alex looked at the data and felt a chill. The peaceful days on Elysia might soon end. "Keep tracking them," he ordered. "And don't tell the Elysians yet. I don't want to frighten them until we know more." As Alex stared at the screen, he didn't know that soon, both humans and Elysians would face a terrible enemy, and humanity would need to make a choice. Leave the helpless Elysians to their fate, or stand and fight. 3 months had passed since the humans first met the Elysians. The crew of the U.S. Horizon had built a small base near the largest Elysian village. Dr. Wright had learned much about Elysian plants, while Lisa Peterson now spoke the Elysian language well enough to joke with the locals. Alex Morgan sat with the Elysian leader, Tailana, under a tree with purple leaves. They shared a drink made from sweet Elysian fruits. "Your people have brought much joy to ours," Tylanna said. Her forearms moved gracefully as she spoke. "We never dreamed we would meet friends from beyond our skies." Alex smiled, but his mind was troubled. For weeks, the strange ships Kevin had spotted had been moving closer. They would reach Elysia soon. His wrist device buzzed. "Commander, you need to return to the ship now," Alan Curtis said, his voice tense. Alan was in charge of the ship's weapons and defense. Alex excused himself and hurried back to the shuttle. When he reached the bridge of the horizon, the mood was grim. "They're here," Kevin said, pointing to the main screen. 20 large ships had entered Elysian space. They were dark and pointed, like weapons themselves. They moved with purpose, heading straight for Elysia. "They're trying to contact us," Lisa said from her station. "The signal is strong, but the language is nothing like Elysian." "Put it through," Alex ordered. A harsh face appeared on the screen. The being had gray, rough skin with ridges and small, angry eyes. When it spoke, the sounds were sharp and cutting. Lisa worked quickly with her translator. After a moment, words came through. "Humans, you are in Krozek territory. This planet is claimed for the Krozek Empire. You will leave immediately or be destroyed." Alex stepped forward. "This planet is home to the Elysian people. It's not empty land for you to claim. We are here on a peaceful mission." The Krozek commander made a sound like metal grinding. "The weak exist to serve the strong. These primitives will work for the glory of the Krozek. Leave now or join them in service." The screen went dark. "They've surrounded the planet," Kevin reported. "Their ships are much more powerful than ours. Can we fight them?" Alex asked Alan. Alan shook his head. "Not alone. They have weapons we've never seen before. We'd be destroyed in minutes." Alex thought quickly. "Send a message to Earth Command. Tell them we found a peaceful civilization that's about to be attacked by hostile forces. Request immediate backup." "Earth is 3 weeks away at top speed," Lisa reminded him. "Then we need to survive for 3 weeks," Alex said. "And help the Elysians survive too." The next day, the Krozek ships landed on Elysia. Thousands of soldiers poured out, armed with energy weapons. They marched toward the Elysian villages. Alex had moved many Elysians to safety in the mountains, but not all had believed the warning. Now they watched in horror as the Krozek rounded up hundreds of Elysians. "They're setting up some kind of mining operation," Grace Martinez said, looking through binoculars. Grace was in charge of security for the horizon. "They're forcing the Elysians to dig." Alex made a difficult decision. "We can't fight them directly yet, but we can't just watch this happen either." He turned to his crew. "The horizon will hide in Elysia's rings. From there, we can watch without being seen. Nathan, I need you to modify our shuttle so it can't be tracked. Alan, prepare weapons for the crew. Grace, you'll train any Elysians willing to fight." "And me?" Dr. Wright asked. "Set up a medical station in the mountains. I fear we'll need it." As they watched the Krozek begin their cruel work, Alex felt anger growing inside him. The Elysians couldn't defend themselves. They had no weapons, no armies. "Earth will come," he promised the frightened Elysians around him. "And when they do, these invaders will learn what happens when they hurt those under human protection." That night, as the horizon slipped into hiding among the planet's rings, the crew could see fires burning where peaceful villages had once stood. 2 weeks had passed since the Krozek arrived. The beautiful valleys of Elysia were now scared with mining pits. The Krozek forced the gentle Elysians to work long hours digging for rare minerals in the ground. Alex Morgan watched through binoculars from a hidden spot on a hillside. Next to him, Grace Martinez made notes on a small device. "That's the 5th work camp they've built," Grace said quietly. "They have at least 3,000 Elysians working as slaves now." Alex lowered the binoculars, his face hard with anger. "Let's get back to base. I've seen enough." Their hidden base was in a cave system deep in the northern mountains. The remaining crew of the Horizon had set up equipment there, while the ship itself stayed hidden in the planet's rings, only coming down for short periods to deliver supplies. When Alex and Grace returned to the cave, they found Dr. Wright treating an injured Elysian. The alien had burns on 2 of his 4 arms. "What happened?" Alex asked. "He tried to rest during work," Dr. Wright said as she applied medicine to the burns. "The Krozek guards punished him with some kind of energy whip." The Elysian looked up at Alex with large, sad eyes. "Many of my people are dying in the camps. The young and old cannot work fast enough to please the Krozek." Alex put a gentle hand on the Elysian's shoulder. "We're going to help your people. Earth ships are coming." Later, Alex met with his officers in a small side cave. Lisa Peterson had news from the Horizon. "I've been working on breaking the Krozek communication codes," she said. "They're sending the minerals they mine to their home world, something called Viridium that they use for their ships and weapons." Nathan Howard, the chief engineer, had been studying Krozek technology from items they had managed to steal. "Their tech is advanced, but not as advanced as ours in some ways," he said. "They rely heavily on brute force rather than efficiency." Alan Curtis spread a map on the table. "I've mapped all their bases and patrol routes. There's a pattern we could exploit." Alex nodded. "What about the Elysian resistance?" Grace had been training willing Elysians to fight. "They learn quickly, but they're naturally peaceful. Fighting doesn't come easily to them." "And Earth's response?" Alex asked. "1 more week," Lisa said. "Admiral Bennett is leading a battle fleet. But," she paused. "But what?" "The Krozek fleet has grown. More ships have arrived. Even our fleet will be outnumbered." Kevin Russell, who had been quiet, suddenly spoke up. "I've been studying Elysian plants with Dr. Wright. We found something interesting." Dr. Wright nodded excitedly. "The blueberries that grow in the mountain valleys. They contain a compound that makes the Krozek sick. Not deadly, but it weakens them for hours." Alex's eyes lit up. "Can we use this? If we could get it into their water or food supplies?" "Yes," Dr. Wright said. The meeting was interrupted when an Elysian runner entered the cave. "Commander, the Krozek are attacking the eastern village. They say they're looking for humans." Alex jumped to his feet. "Grace, get your best fighters. Alan, bring weapons. Dr. Wright, prepare for injuries." They rushed to help, but they were too late. When they reached the eastern village, it was burning. Dead Elysians lay in the streets. A message was carved into a stone wall. "Surrender the humans." Tyle Anna stood among the ruins, all 4 arms hanging low in grief. "They killed everyone who wouldn't tell them where you were hiding." Alex felt sick with anger and guilt. He looked at the sky, wishing Earth's ships would appear. "We need to strike back," he told his crew. "No more hiding and watching. It's time to show the Krozek that hurting the helpless has consequences." That night, they planned their first major attack against the Krozek. Earth was still days away, but humanity's fury was already on Elysia, ready to be unleashed. Alex stood in the shadows near the largest Krozek work camp. The night was dark with both of Elysia's moons hidden behind clouds, perfect for what they planned to do. "Everyone in position," he whispered into his communication device. "East side ready," came Grace's voice. "South entrance covered," Alan replied. "Medical team standing by," Dr. Wright confirmed. Alex took a deep breath. "Remember, we're here to free the Elysians, not to fight unless we must. Use the blueberry gas only if spotted." He gave the signal, and the rescue mission began. Nathan had built devices that could cut through the energy fences without setting off alarms. The human team slipped into the camp with 20 trained Elysians. They moved silently between the crude shelters where hundreds of Elysians slept after long days of forced labor. Alex found the first group of captives and woke them quietly. "We're here to help you escape. Follow us and stay silent." The Elysians' eyes widened in hope. They rose without a sound and followed. Across the camp, Grace and her team were doing the same. "So far, No guards had noticed. The Krozek were overconfident, believing the Elysians too weak and scared to resist. They had almost reached the fence with the first group when a guard appeared. Before he could shout, Alan threw a small ball that burst into blue gas. The guard breathed it in and fell to his knees, too weak to call for help. Another human quickly tied him up. "Move faster," Alex ordered. "Their patrol will find him missing soon." They rushed the Elysians through the fence opening. Outside, Lisa waited with more humans to guide them to the mountains. Alex was helping the last group when alarms finally screamed through the night. Lights flashed on, and Krozek guards ran toward them. "Run," Alex shouted to the Elysians. He and Alan stayed behind, throwing more blueberry gas bombs to slow the guards. A Krozek fired an energy weapon. The shot hit the ground near Alex's feet, sending him flying. Pain shot through his leg. Alan helped him up, and they limped toward the fence. More guards were coming. It looked like they wouldn't make it. Then a shuttle appeared above them, engines roaring. It was Nathan, flying low in their modified ship. The bottom hatch opened. "Jump," Nathan's voice called over the speaker. Alex and Alan leaped, catching the edge of the hatch as the shuttle lifted higher. Krozek energy blasts hit the shuttle's shields, making them glow blue in the night. Nathan flew fast and low over the trees, away from the camp. When they were safe, Alex checked the results of their mission. "How many did we get out?" he asked. "Over 200, Lisa reported proudly. "And we lost no one." It was a victory, but Alex knew the Krozek would be furious. They returned to their mountain base where Dr. Wright treated his injured leg. The freed Elysians were thankful, crying with joy as they reunited with family members who had escaped earlier. Their gratitude made the dangerous mission worth it. The next morning, Anna came to Alex with troubling news. The Krozek leader sent a message to all villages. He says if the humans are not handed over in 2 days, they will destroy our sacred trees. The sacred trees were ancient giants that the Elysians believed held the spirits of their ancestors. Some were thousands of years old. "He knows we won't surrender you," Anna said sadly. "He just wants an excuse to hurt us more." Alex's face hardened. "Earth's fleet will be here in 3 days. We just need to hold on." But later that day, Kevin brought worse news. He had been monitoring Krozek communications from the horizon. "Commander, they know about our mountain base," someone told them. Alex couldn't believe it. "An Elysian betrayed us." "Who?" Kevin shook his head. "I don't know. But the Krozek are preparing a massive attack. They're coming tomorrow with everything they have." Alex looked around at their small base, at the freed Elysians who trusted them for protection. They had weapons for maybe 50 fighters. The Krozek would come with hundreds. "Send a message to Admiral Bennett," he ordered Lisa. "Tell her to hurry and prepare everyone to evacuate. We need a new plan. Fast." The darkest hours were coming for the humans and Elysians. They would need to be ready. Dawn broke with the sound of Krozek ships. Alex had spent the night moving most of the Elysians deeper into the mountain caves. Only fighters remained at the main base, ready to slow down the enemy. "They're coming from 3 directions," Kevin reported, watching the scanner. "At least 500 soldiers." Alex looked at the small group around him. 20 humans and 30 Elysian fighters. They had placed traps and barriers, but it wouldn't be enough. "We hold them as long as we can," Alex said. "Then we split into the planned groups and scatter to the backup locations." The first explosions shook the mountain as Krozek ships fired at the cave entrance. Rocks fell from the ceiling. "They're trying to trap us inside," Grace said. "Use the side tunnels," Alex ordered. "Get to your positions." The battle began as Krozek soldiers reached the first line of defenses. Alan had rigged blueberry bombs that exploded when stepped on. The first wave of enemies fell, coughing and weak. But more came. Energy weapons blasted rocks and barriers. The humans and Elysians fired back from hidden spots, but they were badly outnumbered. Fall back to position 2. Alex shouted as the enemy broke through. They retreated deeper into the caves, fighting at each turn. The plan was working. They were slowing the Krozek down, making them pay for every step. But the cost was high. An explosion knocked Alex against a wall. When he got up, he saw Grace helping an injured Elysian fighter. "Get to the next position," Alex told her. "I'll cover you." He fired his weapon at the approaching Krozek, giving Grace time to escape. Then a shot hit near his feet, and the floor cracked. Alex fell as the ground gave way beneath him. He tumbled down a rocky slope into darkness. Pain shot through his body when he finally stopped falling. He tried to stand but couldn't. His leg was badly hurt. His communication device was broken. Alex was alone in a dark, unknown part of the caves. Above him, the battle continued. The defenders fought bravely, but they were forced to retreat again and again. Finally, Alex's crew had to make the hardest choice. It was time to scatter. "We can't hold any longer," Alan told the fighters. "Everyone to your assigned groups. We'll meet at the backup locations in 3 days." The humans and Elysians split into small teams and fled through different tunnels. They had planned this carefully, knowing they might need to separate. The Krozek gained the main base but found it mostly empty. In their anger, they destroyed everything. Dr. Wright was leading one group of Elysians when Krozek soldiers caught them. She ordered the others to run while she stayed behind to slow the enemy. The Krozek took her prisoner. Nathan's group made it to a hidden valley with some of their equipment. Lisa's team reached the western forests. Alan led his people to caves near the ocean. Grace and her fighters hid in the ruins of an abandoned Elysian village. But no one knew what had happened to Commander Alex. In fact, Alex had been found by Tylanna and 2 of her most trusted guards. They had been using secret tunnels known only to Elysian elders. "Your leg is badly broken," Tylanna told him as they carried him through the dark passages. "We must get you to safety." "My crew," Alex said weakly. "Are they safe?" "Scattered, but many escaped," Tylanna said. "The Krozek are hunting everyone. They've started burning the sacred trees as they promised." Alex closed his eyes in pain and anger. "Who betrayed us?" Tylanna's face showed sadness. An Elysian named Pax. His children were taken by the Krozek. They promised to free them if he told where the humans were hiding. "Did they keep their promise?" Alex asked. "No," Tylanna said simply. "They killed his children anyway." Alex's fists clenched. The Krozek cruelty seemed to have no limits. The mountain base was lost. His crew was scattered. Dr. Wright was captured. And Earth's help was still days away. It was the darkest hour for the humans and Elysians, but sometimes the darkest hour comes just before dawn. 2 days passed. The scattered humans and Elysians struggled to survive while hiding from Krozek search parties. Alex's leg was slowly healing thanks to Dr. Wright's medicine that Tylanna had saved. He stayed in a small cave with Tylanna and her guards, planning their next move. "We need to find out what happened to Dr. Wright," Alex said, "and we need to contact the others." Tylanna nodded. "My people are searching. The Krozek have taken your doctor to their main base." Suddenly, one of Tylanna's guards rushed in. "Elder, the stars are changing." They helped Alex outside. In the night sky above Elysia, flashes of light appeared like new stars being born. Alex smiled for the first time in days. "That's not stars. That's weapons fire. Earth has arrived." High above the planet, the Earth battle fleet had entered the system. 25 warships led by Admiral Carol Bennett aboard the U.S. Valiant, the largest and most powerful ship humans had ever built. "Krozek fleet detected," said the Valiant's sensor officer. 32 ships in defensive positions around the planet. Admiral Bennett stood at the center of the bridge. She was a tall woman with gray hair and eyes that had seen many battles. "Send the message we discussed. Give them one chance to leave." The Krozek response came quickly. Elysia belongs to the Krozek Empire. Leave or be destroyed. Admiral Bennett's face hardened. All ships, battle positions, launch fighters. Find me Commander Morgan and his crew. The space battle began. Earth ships fired weapons that the Krozek had never seen before. Their shields could not stop all the damage. But the Krozek fought back hard, their larger numbers making the fight difficult. On the planet, Lisa Peterson had managed to repair a communication device. She reached the Valiant with a weak signal. "This is Peterson of the U.S. Horizon crew. We're scattered but alive. Commander Morgan was injured, but is with Elysian Elder Tylana. Dr. Wright is captured. Hold your positions," Admiral Bennett ordered. "We're sending troops down. Stand by for coordinates." The Krozek realized they were in trouble. They called more ships from nearby systems. On the ground, they increased security at all bases and doubled the guards around Dr. Wright. Alex was finally able to contact his crew using a device Tylana's people had taken from a dead Krozek soldier. They made a plan to meet at a point near the ocean, where Alan's group was hiding. "Admiral Bennett wants us to coordinate the ground attack while they handle the space battle," Alex told them. As Earth ships began landing troops, the Krozek commander made a terrible decision. He ordered his soldiers to kill any Elysians who might join the humans in fighting. News of this order reached Alex through Elysian messengers. "We need to rescue as many as we can," he said. "And we need to find Dr. Wright before they hurt her." Nathan had been working on a plan. The Krozek use central water systems for their bases. If we can put Dr. Wright's blueberry compound into those systems, it would weaken every Krozek at once. "But we don't have enough of the compound," Grace pointed out. Kevin smiled. "Actually, we do. I've been growing the berries and making more of the compound. We have enough to affect all their main bases." Alex nodded. "We'll split into teams. Nathan, you lead the team to poison their water. Lisa, coordinate with the Earth forces. Alan and Kevin, you're with me. We're going to rescue Dr. Wright." Grace looked concerned. "Your leg isn't fully healed." "I can walk enough," Alex said firmly. "And I won't leave her in their hands any longer." As they prepared for their mission, Earth ships broke through the first line of Krozek defenses in space. Smaller ships began landing more troops on the planet's surface. The Krozek had hurt the helpless Elysians. Now humanity was bringing its full fury from the skies and on the ground. The final battle for Elysia was about to begin. The Krozek main base was a fortress of metal and stone built where a beautiful Elysian village once stood. Alex, Alan, and Kevin watched it from a nearby hill. Krozek guards patrolled the walls with energy weapons ready. "Dr. Wright is being held in the central building," Kevin said, looking at a small scanner. "Security is heavy." Alex checked his own weapon. "Nathan's team should be hitting the water system soon. We wait for the guards to weaken, then we move in." While they waited, the battle in space grew fiercer. The Krozek had called for help, and more of their ships had arrived. Admiral Bennett's fleet was now outnumbered 2-1. "We can't hold this position much longer," her weapons officer warned. Admiral Bennett's face showed no fear. "Deploy the orbital combat platforms." This was Earth's secret weapon. Hundreds of small platforms launched from the larger ships. They spread out in a wide net around the planet. Each one carried dozens of combat drones. "Platforms in position," reported the control officer. "Activate," ordered Admiral Bennett. The platforms hummed to life. Thousands of combat drones poured from them like angry bees from hives. Each drone was small but deadly, armed with precise weapons that could target enemy ships or ground positions. The Krozek had never seen anything like it. Their ships tried to shoot down the drones, but there were too many. The drones swarmed around enemy vessels, finding weak points and attacking together. On the ground, Nathan's team had reached the water processing center for the main Krozek base. They moved silently past two guards who were already showing signs of weakness from the first batch of blueberry compound that had been added to their food. "All the bases get water from here," Nathan whispered as they reached the main tank. Pour the compound in. All of it. His team emptied containers of blue liquid into the water. Soon, every Krozek soldier would be drinking it. Back at the main base, Alex saw the first signs that the plan was working. Guards stumbled at their posts. Some sat down, unable to stand. Now, Alex ordered. Their small team moved quickly toward the base. They wore stolen Krozek armor that Nathan had modified to hide their human shapes. The weakened guards barely looked at them as they entered. Inside, they found more Krozek soldiers suffering from the blueberry compound. Some lay on the floor, too weak to move. This way, Kevin said, following his scanner toward where Dr. Wright was held. They found her in a small cell, thin and tired but alive. Her eyes widened when she saw them remove their Krozek helmets. "About time you showed up," she said with a weak smile. "Sorry we're late," Alex replied as Alan broke the cell lock. "We had to bring a few friends." As they helped Dr. Wright out of the cell, a loud alarm sounded. A voice spoke in the harsh Krozek language. "What are they saying?" Alex asked. "Orbital attack warning," Kevin translated. "The drones are targeting the base." They needed to move fast. Outside, they could see thousands of combat drones filling the sky like dark rain clouds. The drones began firing at Krozek positions with perfect accuracy, avoiding areas where elisions were held. "Admiral Bennett knows we're here," Alan said. "She's clearing a path for us." They ran toward the camp where the elisions were kept as prisoners. The drones had destroyed the guard towers and fences. Confused and hopeful elisions were already beginning to flee. "This way," Alex shouted to them. "Follow us to safety." Hundreds of elisions joined them as they moved away from the base. Behind them, the drones continued their precise attack, destroying Krozek weapons and vehicles. In the command center of the main base, the Krozek leader Grthor watched in rage as his forces fell apart. The blueberry poison had weakened his soldiers. The human drones were destroying his equipment, and now the elisions were escaping. "Bring me the human prisoners," he ordered his guards. "They will be shields against their own weapons." But it was too late. Alex had already freed the prisoners. Grthor's empire on Elysia was crumbling around him. The fury from the skies had been unleashed, and nothing could stop it now. 3 months had passed since the great battle. Elysia was healing. The Krozek were gone, their ships destroyed or driven away by Earth's fleet. The work camps were empty, and the Elysians were rebuilding their villages with help from human engineers. Alex Morgan stood on a grassy hill overlooking the largest Elysian settlement. New buildings rose where Krozek structures once stood. The sacred trees that had survived the burning were green again, their leaves dancing in the gentle wind. "It's amazing how quickly they've recovered," said Dr. Wright, who stood beside him. She had fully healed from her time as a prisoner. "The Elysians are stronger than they look," Alex replied. "They just needed a chance to show it." In the valley below, Nathan Howard was teaching Elysian builders how to use Earth materials that were stronger than anything they had before. Lisa Peterson worked with Elysian scholars, recording their history and stories so they would never be lost. Admiral Bennett had returned to Earth with most of the fleet, but she left 3 ships to guard Elysia. Earth had built a small defense station in orbit, ready to protect the planet if threats returned. Commander Morgan called a young Earth officer as he climbed the hill. "Elder Tylana requests your presence. The ceremony will begin soon." Alex nodded. Today was important for both humans and Elysians. The center of the main village had been turned into a beautiful meeting place. Flowers and colorful fabrics decorated every surface. All 4 of Tylana's arms were painted with special designs for the occasion. When Alex arrived with Dr. Wright, every Elysian bowed with their arms stretched outward in their sign of highest respect. The Horizon crew stood nearby, dressed in their best uniforms. "Today we celebrate our friendship," Tylana said when everyone had gathered. 3 moons ago, we did not know humans existed. Now we call them our greatest friends and protectors." She turned to Alex and placed a woven band of silver and blue around his wrist. This marks you and all humans as eternal friends of Elysia. What you did for us will be remembered for all time. Alex accepted the band with a bow. We came as explorers and found friends worth fighting for. Earth will always stand with Elysia. The celebration lasted well into the night. Elysians and humans shared food, stories, and songs. Children from both worlds played games together. Later, Alex met with his crew in the new Earth Embassy building. I received a message from Earth Command today, he told them. The horizon has been repaired and upgraded. We're being assigned a new mission. Are we leaving Elysia? Grace asked. Alex nodded. In 2 weeks, but we're not going far. He showed them a star map. This system, just 12 light years away. Intelligence suggests there's another civilization. They're being threatened by someone. The Krozek again? Asked Kevin. No, a different group called the Drenthar. They seem to follow the same pattern, finding peaceful worlds and enslaving the inhabitants. Ellen smiled. And Earth wants us to do something about it. Earth Command has created a new division, Alex explained. They're calling it the Protectorate. Ships and crews specially trained to find and help developing civilizations that face outside threats. We're the first crew selected. So we're going to be the Galactic Police? Nathan asked. More like Galactic Good Neighbors, Alex replied. Humanity has decided that what happened here on Elysia won't happen elsewhere, not if we can help it. The next morning, Alex visited the memorial garden planted where the first Elysian village had been destroyed. Small blue stones marked those who had died during the Krozek occupation. Title: Anna found him there. My people say you are leaving soon. Yes, there are others who need help, like your people did. Till Anna's large eyes showed understanding. Before you came, we thought we were alone in the stars. Now we know better. The universe has both cruelty and kindness in it. And which will win depends on who is willing to stand up when it matters, Alex said. As he looked at the peaceful valley, Alex knew that humanity had found its purpose among the stars. Not just to explore, but to protect. The Krozek had made a terrible mistake when they hurt the helpless. They never realized that by doing so, they would unleash something far more powerful than their weapons. Humanity's determination that such cruelty would not stand. The stars awaited, and humanity was ready.